as Unc says, I think if the raw ingredients are there, you can make anything happen because the things you can't buy is a person's personality at the end of the day. That's you can't buy.
And I always just say that people feel like they deserve to be in a relationship. Everyone feels like they deserve, and I deserve to be married with 2 kids right now. But it's all about work and effort, And if you're not willing to put that work and effort in, and to piggyback off what Onk says, where I feel like I struggle is, all right, I know the ingredients, but I want those ingredients to be on a certain level now because I'm older now. So my mindset of, what I want, I'm maybe not willing to go to that beginning phase and start from the foundations because I'm thinking, look, I don't have time, I want to have kids, I want to get married. So, I'm looking for someone where the building's already built. I just need to come through and, do some maintenance on the property. But that's harder than it's harder than it's advertised that you think you're just going to come and meet someone like that.
I think at any level, you start with the raw materials because you come into the relationship as you, the other person comes in as them. And that's when the ingredients get thrown into the pot. You see what I'm saying? And then you start mixing and you start seeing this tastes a bit off or it doesn't. It tastes quite nice actually. Let me add some more to it. So I don't ever think, even though a woman could look like she's made, until she's in a relationship with you really don't know how that stew's gonna taste.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, but I still just think it's like, for instance, right, if you're 10, 15 years into your career and then you meet someone who's kind of doing something completely different and is at the kind of infant stage of their career, some people might be thinking, oh, well, I'm year 10 in, she's year 1, I want someone that's at least 5 years in, so it's more compatible. And that's where the risk factor comes in. Are you going to go and, start something completely fresh with someone that might not meet all your criterias? Or are you just going to hold out for the one to come along, which might not happen?
But this is the thing though, like, this is where women talk about settling and all of this stuff. Like, as Unc says, I think if the raw ingredients are there, you can make anything happen because the things you can't buy is a person's personality at the end of the day. That's you can't buy. So if those things are there and they tick your criteria box, everything else is whatever. That's a bonus.
I agree with you there, right? Lloyd, so your analogy, right? So here's the thing. Remember what we talked about growth. You're 5-10 years ahead of her in her career, but you with your experience and you could accelerate her. It won't take her 10 years to catch up with you, right? Yeah. Could take her 4 years to catch up because obviously the pitfalls. And what we're talking about again, about a partnership. A partnership means not that let's think of a football team. It's not that everybody's a striker, everybody's a defender. What you're weak at, I'm strong at. What I'm strong at, you're weak at, right? So where it may be the case that career-wise you are eons ahead of, that's great. But don't think that in other aspects of the relationship, it could be reversed. And we know that there are so many different aspects to the relationship. A lot of the time, what the checklist is referring to is the tangibles, what we think about straight away. We think about, career, what they look like, blah, 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 the education, da, da, da. But what really makes us stay with somebody is the intangibles. And we touched it at the beginning. What were we saying that men want? We want women to show a little bit of interest in us, right? To ask us the things that we're interested in, that they may not be interested in. So we know when they're asking us, they're doing that just for us because they don't even really care. They don't care about football. They don't care about football. You're a Man United supporter. Obviously, you must be sick, but you're a Man United supporter, right?
Okay.
I knew you were going to drop it in there.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. And they say to you, honey, how did Man U do? Did they do all right? And if they know who you played on that day, you're going to think, rah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a minor.
The thing is, women might think about that as silly, but
no,
I couldn't listen. I can't say it enough. Just those little things to us that could potentially make our day. Just
100%.
She's actually interested in me, like she cares about what's going on in my life.
Yeah. No, that it. And if women listening to this, if you take anything from this discussion, take that. Take that. So if you got a man, a husband, boyfriend, whoever it is, and you know there's something that they are interested in and you don't really pay no mind, do yourself a favor. Just take a little bit of interest and see their reaction. Just a little bit of interest and see.
It's way too true. And you know, so like you said just now about sometimes looking at the tangible things, some of the things you can't see, which I think men want, but you can't just pick it, is also
describe it. It's just like,
yeah. Some of the things also like is, you know, for those men that want to start a family, is the woman's ability to be like a mother. Is there any, you know, traits that they've got that's making them feel like, actually, you know what, I want to like start a family with this woman? And I know sometimes that might come across as running before you can walk, because you know you need to get to know someone first. You then need to start going out, start dating. Then you take it more serious. Then you get married, etc. But ultimately, I do feel like a lot of men do look at women in terms of, is this woman going to be? Is she actually going to be? They put that as the pinnacle. Marriage might be the pinnacle for some people, whereas the actual pinnacle for a lot of men, in my opinion, is actually, can they be like the mother of their child? And that is something that I'm not sure.
But I think
I'm not sure. So I'm not sure women sometimes think that men are viewing them in that way.
I think sometimes us as men,
I
think sometimes us as men, we get it wrong to how we communicate that, because we just say, I want a woman who cooks and cleans, and it's not necessarily that. I think what we're trying to communicate is we want someone with some motherly like qualities, kind of thing. I don't think you have to be as Uncle Rodney said, running underneath us, sweeping underneath us. Yes, honey. No, honey. 3 bags full, honey. Like, that's not what we want, but just some motherly qualities. And that's us thinking, as we do, men think into the future more than women, I think. And it's like,
sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
And it's like us kind of planning ahead. Like, can this woman is she able to look after my potential children that I'm going to have with her, kind of thing.
I used to say to my wife back in the day when she said, you know, cook and clean, I said, listen, my dear, you are the most expensive cooker and cleaner I could ever have. So if you think it's just for cooking and cleaning, it's a madness. It's a madness. And I think, Stuart, you are so right. I think for men, and probably for women as well, there is no greater eulogy you can give to somebody to say, I want you to bear my children. I want you to be the father of my children. I want you to be the mother of my children. And you're absolutely right. When you go for this checklist, not checklist like when you first see them, but as the relationship develops, you think to yourself, okay, she did something. Yeah, man. You just make a little note. I like the way I could see that as being the mother of my child. Or conversely, I don't like what I'm seeing, and I don't want. I can't. You know, you may not say it in those terms, but subconsciously, that's what's happening. You're going right. Oh yes. Yeah. So yeah.
And I think, and that's the thing. So I think part of what we're saying here is that actually, when you're in the mix of dating with someone, you have to be. You can't be a one size fit all approach. If the man you're potentially like pursuing has these qualities about him, and you know that's on his mind, bear that in mind. That might not be on everyone's mind. It might be money for a certain guy. So actually, it's a big thing for him to be like this completely financially stable. The rest of it, for some men, it's like, you know, I want to get married, I want to have kids. So some men over-index on. That's what I'm trying to say. Some men over-index on actually, I want to have a child now. You know, so actually, when they're looking for a partner, what they're looking for is actually someone who can speed things up. Actually, someone who's on the same level as them.
Yeah.
You know, so when it comes down to it, you need to think about, you know, all men are different. We might say we're simple, but all men are different. Some all about the career, some all about family, and they're over-indexed on the family bit. And I think it might be off-putting for some women actually. If there's a man that's saying, you know, I want 4, 5, 6 kids, and that's their dream. That's their thing for them, to hold a home like that. So you got to check. You know, I think Ryan, you said it previously. You know, check your man. You know, if you're in a relationship already, check him out. You know, find out what he's about, or find out this person you're pursuing. You know, if you want to take it seriously, find out what he takes seriously. You know, take that all on board.
Yeah. I don't think women understand how much men discuss women that they're talking to at the beginning with their other male friends. Like I think there's like not a universal, but there's a list of things that I think a lot of men would expect from their women that other men just naturally know when they're talking about women. So, you know, this old word, wifey material, it comes from there, where there was like a few characteristics that everyone knows if they've got theirs, that they could be your girl. So I don't think that women think that we actually discuss women at length. And I think we actually discuss women more than women discuss men with their friends. I think women might be a little bit hesitant to be as open, but I think men are going to go, look, I'm talking to this girl. What do you think about this? You know, I thought that was a little bit mad. What do you think? So, you know, women don't get that we are really making informed decisions, and a lot of men are discussing with each other, oh, what do you think about this? Or what if this happened? Or what are you looking for here?